This is Spare Parts, your show for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Stephen Cleary, Sean Cavarella, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Spare Parts. I am your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
I'm Taylor. Steven, why did you sound so sad?
Because McLaren's back of the pack, and yeah. I can see the McLaren sweater like down in the bottom corner over there. And
Is it in the trash?
It's halfway there. The trash is out of sight there, and sadly I'm a horrible basketball player.
So you were close, but just missed. Kind of like McLaren.
Oh, I wouldn't say they were close. I think
No.
they just straight up missed.
No, they were not. Okay. Anyway, so we are recording this hot off the end of the Bahrain Grand Prix F1 season opener, and we finally have some answers to all of the questions that we didn't have the answer to going into the week, basically. And newsflash, we were all basically wrong.
Shocker.
Would not agree with that.
Okay, get your Ferrari
I seem to recall.
Yes.
I seem to recall saying that Ferrari was going to have a great season, and what a great way to start it off.
Yep, as you
You
are
also put money on
rocking
Lance Stroll
your...
to win, so.
To be fair, I put money on Sebastian Vettel, who didn't even race, so yay.
Yeah, well, you know,
Yeah,
that's a waste of
great.
$5 right there.
Oh yeah. That's
Well-
the risk of making bets a week out, especially during COVID times. Should have known better, but whatever. We've learned. We're moving on. So,
Yeah, well.
Taylor, you're rocking the Ferrari shirt today. Do
Yes.
you want to stock? Yeah. Do you want to start talking with Ferrari?
Yes, she would like to stock Charles
Okay.
Leclerc.
I
I mean-
absolutely want to start talking about Charles Leclerc.
I mean, what you
And
don't
Carlos
see
Sainz,
is,
because that was great.
on her other walls, it's just all photos of Leclerc, just photoshopped into different people's bodies.
Different people's bodies. Why would
I
I
don't
need
know.
that?
I don't know.
You
Listen,
seen him?
okay, let's not get this weird to start. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I forgot I wasn't talking to Sarah.
Yeah. Okay, so Ferraris.
Okay, anyway.
Taylor,
Yeah, so
take it
Ferrari.
away.
Yeah, so it's Ferrari 1-2 today, which is fantastic, and Charles Leclerc had a fantastic drive today. His defending was fantastic on track. He put up a really good fight with Verstappen until the very end, which was bad luck for Verstappen. I mean, who knows what that means for the Red Bull car going forward? Are they going to have power issues? I don't even think we know exactly what happened, but I'm sure we'll know in the coming days. But Sainz was great too. But he took advantage of that opportunity at the end of the race with Verstappen out. But he was great too. I mean, the Ferrari car has a seriously good power unit this year. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do for the rest of the season. Like, is this the beginning of like Ferrari back on top? I think so, but I mean, we can always hold our breath. One race doesn't mean the whole season, but they look really good. All Ferrari cars looked really good, actually. All Ferrari powered cars.
Yeah.
Like the Haas was great too.
Yeah, Ferrari, despite all the hype going into this race of, are they really that good? Are they just like, showboating for testing, basically? Yeah, no, they're fast. They are.
They have really
They're
good
the
pace
favorite.
this year.
They have to be the favorite coming out of this weekend.
And most importantly, they did not shoot themselves in the foot with strategy.
Yes.
Okay, they nearly did.
Nearly did. They got some help, but
Okay, that wasn't even shooting themselves in the foot. They almost got fucked over out of luck.
yes.
Yeah.
That safety car at the end, poor Gasly.
Mm-hmm.
But to what you said about like an amazing drive from Leclerc, I think that drive at the safety car restart was fantastic. He's on old tires.
Oh, it was.
You have Sainz and Max behind him on fresh tires, and he got away.
Didn't he stop for tires?
Did he?
I'm
He
pretty
did,
sure he
yeah.
Oh,
he
he
was
did.
on fresh
Okay,
tires.
I must have missed that part where he
Mhm.
did. Oh my god! Sorry, watching IndyCar right now. 3 cars to
Yep.
the wall.
Oh.
Yep.
Who?
Looks like it is.
Sean's not gonna like
No,
that. I don't think.
no, I'm not gonna try to do this. Okay, back to Ferrari. We'll focus on that later. Yeah, Ferrari was fantastic. They were fast.
You didn't put money on Rahal, right?
No, but I did put Cash Nevis.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
didn't want to bring that up. But...
Yeah, I mentioned. Yeah, I saw that he was out. That's 2 of my guys already out of this race. That's great. 2 of the 4.
Yikes.
I also have McLaughlin, who's winning, so I'm not going to say anything. But I probably
You didn't have
jinxed it now.
McLaughlin.
What?
You didn't have McLaughlin.
Didn't I?
No, you
I
didn't.
thought I said that in there. Oh, okay.
You did not.
Oh, I thought you mentioned him. Okay, my bad.
Nope. I
You took
have
him.
McLaughlin.
Okay. Anyway.
Blind squirrel chasing shiny object.
Yes, pretty much. Ferraris are fast, and the whole battle that they had together between Max and Leclerc for like those 4 or 5 laps going back and forth with each other, like that's what we want to see, right?
I think this was one of the first races where I actually was watching and I was like, wow, this is really exciting because you really don't know who's going to come out on top. Because I think, like, even despite Red Bull's, like, late issues, they look like they have a really good car this year. They can easily keep up with the Ferraris. So it's interesting to see just a difference in who.
Oh, that's great. Her internet's shit now.
Okay,
Well,
I thought it was
okay,
Matt
so
for
I'll
a
continue.
second.
I'll continue what she was saying. I actually don't know where she was going with that, to be honest.
Ferrari fast, Red Bull also fast. Should
Yes,
make,
both
it is just the
engines
new,
look fast, and
Yeah.
both cars look fast.
Ferrari has replaced Mercedes in the title fight, and Mercedes is after 1 week is the number 3 team.
Yeah, pretty much.
Actually,
but-
wait, no,
okay.
sorry. Technically,
They're the number 2.
Ferrari is the number 1 team. Mercedes is the number 2. Haas is the number 3. What the fuck?
Would you say Haas is 3?
Technically.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so that's just hilarious that Taylor's frozen like that. I feel bad.
Yeah.
Here. I'll just
She
mo-
froze up worse than fucking Perez's engine.
I'll just put the logo over her face till she gets back, just to save her the
There you
embarrassment.
go.
Okay.
Problem
Yeah.
solved.
Pretty much. Yeah, the Ferraris look fast. The Ferrari engines look strong. And Taylor's back.
Back.
Okay. Do you want to continue what you were saying there?
Where did I cut off?
Start over. I don't actually remember where you cut off.
Something about Ferraris and Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I was just commenting on how it's like really exciting to see like competition back on the grid where it's not the typical like for our Mercedes Red Bull fight. Like it's just something a little bit different. Like even the Haas is in there within the top like 10, right? So it's just nice to see some more competition coming back to the grid. Like not everybody's going to be there, but it's enough to keep it interesting.
I think better than that, though, is not even just the competition like at the top, but throughout the midfield. Like there was your top 3 and everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think any team was really exceptional out of the midfield. I mean, you could make the argument it's the top 3, everyone else, then every Mercedes-powered car at the back. Which, if I'm Mercedes, I am panicking because of that.
Yeah.
So, they've done something poorly at Mercedes that they need to fix fast. But, for the actual racing, I think these cars are kind of doing what we want them to do.
Yep. 100%.
You know, dirty air isn't that bad. Again, like the whole battle between Max and Leclerc, going after it, going at each other. I could definitely see it being whatever team's driver is on it that day, be it Leclerc, be it Max, who knows if it's a Perez. You can see some pretty good battles, I feel like, this year.
I totally agree.
But will we? Who knows? It's one race. I don't know if it is an outlier because of Bahrain. You know, does Ferrari's power unit give them the advantage at this track? hard to say because it kind of looked like actually Red Bull's was the better one down the straight, at least down the front straight.
Mm-hmm.
And then
It was hard. It was hard to tell because Charles always had DRS going back at Max on the back straight.
yeah,
So,
Mhm.
but no, there was good fights up and down the field though, because there was a lot of fights between the Alfa Romeos and the Williams, the Haas, and when K Meg wasn't over driving into turn one, he was fighting a lot with the drivers around him. Like, there's good fights up and down the field, and like you said, Sean, it's, I think, exactly what they wanted with the changes that were made. We got that in race one.
yeah. Like what was the one shot where it was just like 10 cars down the straight? You could basically throw a blanket over them. Like they're all so close. Like usually by that like fourth lap, I think, of the years past, every car is stretched out to about 1 to 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But here you had a whole bunch of cars all within 5 seconds. Like I think there was like 8 cars there between like in 5 seconds of each other.
Yeah, jockeying for
yeah.
best of the rest.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's very interesting. These new cars look great. You know, I don't know if we really expected them to look that good on track. I'm already like, wow, I'm so glad we have these versus the old cars.
Mhm.
The old cars to me look terrible. The way they're all boxy and gross. These things, I'm like, wow, they look sleek. They look like they're fast. But, yeah. Good for Ferrari for getting the win. Good for Mercedes for cleaning up the scraps that Red Bull left.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to talk about first? Mercedes engines being shit or Red Bull's engines being shit? Because basically there's kind of 2 paths here for both teams, and there's 2 major worries.
Well, it sounds
Yeah.
like one, overheating is a bit of an issue, and that might just be Bahrain. But we heard it from so obviously Pierre Gasly's engine caught on fire, but the entire race, it also sounded like, early on, Hulkenberg, we can't stop. The engine's too hot. You got to cool it down.
Which is a weird thing to hear.
Yeah, right? So, maybe that's going to be something that just needs to get sorted out quickly, but it might just be a
Bahrain
racing
issue.
racing in a hot climate issue, hot and dry climate issue.
A Bahrain issue where there's also lots of straights, lots of engine running at basically max.
Yeah.
So
So
again, it's hard, but again, that'll still be an issue next week in Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
So it's not like you're going to be able to figure it out then.
no.
So
Drive nice and slow. Don't kill the engine.
I think Red Bull might have a problem for next week.
Maybe.
Just with Saudi Arabia, just with the nature of that. But that might be able to sort itself out with some better cooling. Who knows? Maybe you have to run it down a bit, but the Red Bull cars are all still fast. Right? Like Yuki is the only finishing Red Bull of the 4 still in the points. But all 4 of them were basically fighting for the points.
Yep.
The bigger issue,
Yeah, they're going to
think,
have to make some changes.
Yeah, I think the bigger issue is the Mercedes, because I don't see that being fixed within a week or after.
I don't think they know
week.
what the issue is. Like, I really don't think they know.
I think it
or
has
just
to be
being
power
a
unit.
climate, or just being a climate related thing.
Like everyone
right?
keeps saying with Mercedes, though, it's because the porpoising. Once they fix the porpoising, they're right back. I don't think it is. I literally think it's their power unit. Porpoising doesn't do a whole lot when it comes to actual speed. Yeah, it might make your car more unstable in corners or something, and you might not have as much downforce. But in a straight line, your car should be fast. Even if it's bouncing, it's still fast.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like they have the pace this year. Like whatever they did to their power unit going into the rule change, I don't think it's working for them.
Yeah.
And I'm not entirely convinced that they actually know where the issue really is. Right? Like, I think a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, it's the porpoising, but yeah, no, I agree with Sean. I don't think that is really what is going on, and it's going to take them some time to actually iron out the issues. And it's hard to say whether or not when they iron them out, it's going to be a good change, or when they iron it out, it's going to make the issue possibly worse or bring out different things that aren't going to work for them. I'm not, even though Hamilton managed to get a podium just because luck.
The man has horseshoes up his ass.
I know.
Like,
Ah.
motherfucker. There goes my other fucking bet. 3 for 4 bets out in this IndyCar race, so this is going to great fucking week for me.
And McLaren's rough weekend continues.
Yeah, another McLaren done. But anyway, yeah, Mercedes, it has to be the power unit. They're lacking. You can see it on all the other Mercedes cars, right? Like, Aston Martin, Williams, and McLaren are all the slowest cars. I don't think anyone saw those 3 being backmarkers this year. Especially after the first test, everyone was saying how good McLaren looked. They come here, their brakes are overheating, they're down on speed in the straights. It's not a good look for those teams. I don't know how they get it back. And then you have other teams like, let's look at Alfa Romeo, who pretty sure we picked them to be the worst this year.
They came out flying.
Yep. Bottas 6th. Zhou Guangyu. Was it Guangyu? I don't know.
Is it Guan Yu Zhou? I thought Zhou was his last name.
I believe
but when they were showing it on the thing.
Because Zhou is his last name, I believe. I don't know, Steven, you might know this better. Basically, because Asian. Isn't the Asian naming convention last name, first name?
Yes, and then it sort of depends on however they want to do it when they come over to the anglicized version. So some will flip it, some won't.
Because all through up the feeder series, he was Guangyu Zhou.
Yeah.
Which I believe was first name, last name, because in all the graphics, Zhou is the last name, right?
Yeah. But
I think now they've gone with conventional Asian naming, which is Zhou Guangzhou. Right?
Yep.
That's why I think it's mixed up. But yeah, he had a great performance for a rookie. First race, finishing the
first
points.
Race.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did not expect that.
And he wasn't last in qualifying, so that's...
Nope, thanks Canadians. Making us look good. Fucking Christ. Yeah, that really pissed me off, just being like, and the back row is Latifi Stroll. Good job, guys. Really, really doing us proud.
They're not that bad. Oh, wait, no, shit.
At least Stroll recovered to 12th? Huh?
Yeah, he's used to doing that now.
Yeah, I know.
He's the anti-George Russell, not Mr. Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hulkenberg. Rough situation to be in. Getting the call for Vettel. Outqualified Stroll, which I guess isn't difficult to do. I think Stroll has the qualifying pace of me. Or Steven.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. He's always
with
sucked.
His qualifying. Like, he's so bad at qualifying.
Unless it's in the rain. But
yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense. Like, I guess it makes some sense, but like at the same time, like, dude.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It really is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I'm sure he's frustrated about it too. But yeah, Aston Martin just, I mean,
I'm officially jumping off that hype train. Okay. I
don't know what they do during testing, but they like come out and they're like, oh yeah, we might be good. So as soon as they get on track to actually start qualifying and actually be in the race, it all goes downhill from there.
For a team who's traditionally done a lot with so little, I've had faith in them to use the budget cap to be competitive, to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. They are absolutely terrible. I blame Lawrence Stroll. I think he has destroyed that culture there.
Oh, you mean not Mike Crack?
No, Mike Crack. He is in for it.
Yeah, happy belated birthday, Mike Crack. I'm so sorry, but the name just gets me every time.
Yeah. Two teams I want to talk about who had great results. First, Haas.
Yeah.
Very surprising weekend.
Kevin Magnussen,
Yeah.
great job. Honestly.
I know. Like, what a great performance. Like, his first race back, and it just really proves that the Haas, whatever they did, they're actually competitive again, which is so nice to see. And I'm sure Gunther is just jumping up and down at the fact that he might not have to deal with certain influences in the team. But yeah, I think Mick I think is just struggling because he's so young and he doesn't have like the same experiences as Kevin Magnussen does. Like obviously like Magnussen was an F1 driver for years, but I think he's really going to benefit from having that, like having him as a teammate. I think he
Yeah.
can learn a lot
He's a good
from
yardstick,
Magnussen.
too.
Mhm. So,
he was just outside the points.
He was. And maybe he would have got in them if it wasn't for Ocon spinning him. But also, he should get a point at least for that recovery.
Yes.
Did a
yeah,
full
that was such a good
360,
recovery.
kept it going.
He gets style points for only losing one spot and spinning.
Mhm.
Yes. But yeah, almost had it. He was running well, and then I may have commented in our one group chat, like, oh, wow, Mick's doing great. Then he proceeded to plummet down the order.
I instantly put, why did you jinx this? Why have you forsaken him?
So my bad. I'm sorry, Mick. Entirely my fault for you not
Yep.
finishing the points.
Yep.
Another team that did well besides Haas, and I think these are good launching points. I also didn't think this team would do well. Was Alpine. Very quiet week, you know? No one was really talking about them being up there. No one really gave them a whole lot of pace. And, you know, they're the only ones running the Renault engine. Which maybe McLaren's going to be like, shit, we should go back to that.
Yep.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, Ocon 7th. Alonso 9th. Like, that's just a solid finishing position where you want to be.
Yeah.
Couldn't have caught Valtteri for 6th. Oh well. But a nice finish.
Hey, Valtteri was having a hell of a race.
Had a hell of a weekend.
Yeah.
How much do you think he was grinning when he pulled up this morning on the grid and just stares over at Lewis?
Just hello.
Hello there.
Oh, the
Looks-
memes have been too good.
Looks back at Russell.
Pathetic.
You did that in a Williams? Ha, I'm in an Alpha. But yeah, unfortunate for I think George this week. Wasn't I think the debut he wanted. You know?
I'm sure he was hoping for a Mercedes car similar to last year's.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Still came home 4th. That's fine, I guess. You
I think
know?
it's fine, but I don't think he was really taking it to Lewis. He looked slower than. But again, it's Lewis fucking Hamilton, right?
They were also running very different strategies. It looked like.
yeah, they were.
I mean,
They
the
were
strategies
sorta-
this race were all over the place. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
These 18-inch
Yeah.
tires, yeah, they look like they're a real game changer in Formula One. You know, tire or heating the tires is difficult now. You see guys having to weave coming out of the pits just to
Yep.
get heat in them.
Max was complaining right away that he couldn't go fast right off the hop.
Yeah, that was, and to see him like sliding around coming out of the pits, yeah, it's just bizarre, but it was kind of fun to see. Seeing the cars be a handful, but not be, I guess, impossible to drive. Like, there was a few times where guys were sliding, back ends was stepping out of them. Also, you could see some contact between guys wasn't detrimental. Like, it didn't seem like the tires were puncturing at every single contact made.
Nope. Yeah, was it Ocon and Mick? Stroll got into someone as well later on in the race.
yes.
I was
I
waiting
don't
for something to explode there, whether it was a tire or an end plate off a front wing.
No, it was just Gasly's engine. Which, did anyone else get flashbacks of the fire at that part of the track of a car?
A little bit.
I was just like, oh, I've seen this before.
Yeah, like every time that there's a fire in F1 now, I'm a little like, ugh.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, he's fine and everything, but it's just kind of those like, oh yeah, right there, fire.
Yeah.
Ah.
Like,
But yeah,
Time to be.
that really changed the whole race with that safety car. I think up until that point,
Yeah.
it was I don't want to say boring because it was actually some great action on the track, a lot of battling all through the mid pack, and
mhm.
like that's what you kind of want to see, right? Comers and goers, guys who are having the pace on fresh tires, making it through, guys who are kind of falling off. But yeah, I don't know if this is a track issue with these tires with the high abrasion. Meaning, like we saw like 3 stops. The fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Versus like if this is what we're gonna expect with the 18 inches, or are we going to see, I guess, more conventional racing at some other tracks? I don't know, and I feel like as much as we have answers to, yeah, Ferrari is that fast, there's still so much unanswered based on coming out of this race.
Mhm.
And again, it'll be interesting once we get out of the hot and humid climate, how these cars will react in something a little bit different, the more cooler European. I want to see these cars in the rain now, just see what happens.
Yes.
Mhm.
Get the full porpoise effect of going in and out of the water, you know?
Just put a dolphin, paint a dolphin on the side of it.
Yep. So,
Boo.
much
Yeah.
like testing, try not to read into it too much, but I will be dropping Lando Norris from my team. So,
I still believe in the Red Bulls. It is a 23 race season. You know, you had some whoopsies the first race. I think they're going to come back stronger. I don't know if Ferrari will be there every race. Maybe certain tracks that are more power dependent suit them.
Mhm.
They might struggle at, Monaco, which Leclerc doesn't struggle at Monaco ever.
never.
Sadness.
Yeah. But as of right now, would you say Leclerc is your championship favorite?
Yeah.
The way you look today, yes.
Yeah. Very strong.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Nice.
you want to go through the grid and give him a quick grade?
Yeah, I just want to point out my final surviving bet in the IndyCar race. Riz VK is now leading. So suck it, Steven.
That's fine. McLaughlin's right behind him.
Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah. So going through the field quickly, Leclerc, pole to P1.
A plus.
You can't ask
plus.
for a better weekend.
Yeah.
Nope.
Sainz coming in P2, giving Ferrari that 1-2.
A plus as well.
Yeah.
Great drive.
A plus.
I don't think because he qualified third, right? So and was
Yeah.
only behind the reigning world champion. So don't know what else you want him to do there.
Hamilton
Mhm.
backing into another fucking win.
C.
Which, okay, we actually never talked
Wow.
about that part though. The Kyle Busch, what was it? Alex Bowman run, and he went off on the radio being like, another guy who backed into another fucking win, backs into another fucking win.
Yeah.
You could argue that Lewis Hamilton backs into another fucking podium,
Yep.
but
No, he gets a C because he didn't really have that great of a race. He got a podium based on sheer luck.
yeah, they're kind of like the Ferraris of like a few years ago when like you had
Yeah.
Red Bull, Mercedes being obviously the two fastest, Ferrari being like, yeah, we'll finish 5-6 every time, and then
Yeah.
everywhere else is the midfield. Like that.
Yeah,
That's kind
like
of how this
2020,
is.
right?
Was that 2020?
I think that was 2020 because last year Ferrari was like just terrible. But 2020 was the year of their maybe illegal engines. But we don't
Also-
know.
Or was that 2019? I listen. I don't fucking know.
I think 2019,
2019
Raikkonen was
the
still on Ferrari.
well the
Yeah.
either way, 2019 was the illegal engine year.
Mm-hmm.
Was it?
Haha. Yes.
Or
It was.
not illegal, questionable with the fuel flow, and
Which honestly was
Wow.
ingenious, to be honest.
because that
Yeah,
was also
well,
the year.
you know.
Because that year was Charles had the same sort of race going,
Yeah, and
Oh.
the engine went pop
yes.
right at the end.
Right. Yeah. Has Charles been a Ferrari driver for 3 years already?
Oh yeah,
Oh
because
my
that was
gosh.
the year he won in Spa, and then he won in Monza. That was his first wins.
In 20, I thought that was 2020.
Nope,
No,
2020 was COVID. I know, right? I
You're
know.
right. Oh
Ti-
my gosh.
Time
I'm
is
so
time is
like,
fucky, right? So yeah, I think we broke Taylor.
I'm having a moment. Hold on.
It's all
Hold
going
on.
so fast.
I need to confirm on
2018 was the
Google.
first Drive to Survive season.
mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, Ferrari's kind
Really?
of in that same situation as they were in 2018.
But I thought that because I remember watching it during COVID. No, I was still living in the other house. Was I?
Okay.
I'm having a moment here. My brain is
You
like
are
breaking.
perpetually a moment. It's fine.
What is that supposed to mean? I have a bad
Yes.
memory, but fair enough.
So, yeah.
Anyway, next.
George Russell.
They both get like,
They
honestly,
get
I'd give both.
C.
mixed
It was
reviews.
just-
Yeah, they were like meh, B minus,
Yeah.
B, whatever. They were there.
Bs.
They took advantage
Yeah.
of the situation.
Mhm.
Kevin suck my balls, Magnuson.
A plus.
We didn't. That's right. We didn't talk about that. How Hulkenberg and Magnussen met up before the race.
Did you see Haas's tweet about like don't make captions to this or whatever the fuck it was? Like that was gold.
No.
Yeah, they posted that as like them chatting before the race, and they're just like, this isn't a caption making contest.
Yeah.
So good, so good.
Yeah. But I would give Magnussen 5 slam doors out of 5 slam doors.
He was fighting a Mercedes at the start of the race.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
He gets 5 slam. He gets to slam all the doors that he wants to now.
A plus.
Honestly, great return for K-Mag. I'm happy he's back this year. I'm ecstatic for fucking Haas. Like,
Me too.
I don't know how else they could have had a better start unless Mick got in the points. Mick is going to get into the points this year. I'm going to make a hot take, and that's every single driver will have a point this year.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
That's bold looking at the McLarens today.
I was gonna say, I think they're gonna be our back markers for the season, unfortunately.
Yeah, talk about a GP2 engine, right? Alonso's definitely laughing. But yeah,
Hey,
so
Valtteri.
Bottas, P6. Good job. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Solid.
I give him like a solid B plus.
A minus.
A minus.
Okay.
Outqualified a Mercedes,
Yeah, that's fair.
you know. Did well. Ocon.
B.
I was going to B minus because the 5-second
Yeah.
penalty for hitting Mick.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that would have put him ahead of Bottas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
B. Other than that, yeah, didn't really do anything spectacular, but didn't fuck it up.
Yuki, P8.
B plus for being the only Red Bull to finish.
Yeah, I was going to say, he at least could nurse that car back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say B minus because his qualifying pace was not good.
Mm.
That's
He
fair.
was the best of the shit cars
Yeah.
in qualifying.
Fernando Alonso.
B minus. B.
Like how you're both kind of
Yeah.
wavering, not really sure.
Just like
Like
he was mid.
he
He was mid. Yeah. Midfield, mid.
he was didn't see a whole lot of them, so it's good and bad.
Yeah, you didn't see a lot of, I feel like, the midfield battles.
Yeah,
They were
Well,
definitely going on.
I mean, when you had 3 straight laps of Verstappen dive bombing and Charles
Leclerc getting
fighting
it
back
back.
on the back straight,
Yeah,
it's kind of
that's what
it
you
was
want
at least
to see.
understandable. like I'm waiting for the moment where that's going on, and and for years we've slammed our hands on the table saying more midfield battle, show the midfield battle,
Yeah.
and then
Miss a pass for the lead or something.
yeah,
Uh,
get another Lance Stroll graphic.
Joe.
Hey,
B,
A minus B.
good drive for a
Right,
rookie.
B plus.
I'll say rookie, first F1 race, new car,
Good
might be
day.
an advantage to him.
Yeah.
Good debut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big debut. Mick.
I'll give him a
I'm
B.
gonna give him, yeah.
Good recovery after
Yeah.
the
Gonna give-
contact, you know. Had to drive
Mhm.
that first in on flat spotted tires, obviously, right? From that spin.
Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't get up there to fight
Just-
Magnussen, but also you did fine.
Just
Yeah,
got
You were the
eaten-
next
exactly.
car on the points.
Yep, just got eaten up on the restart.
hmm
And where did he? I think he just qualified 12th, didn't he?
I think something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So
Where he is, yeah. Okay, let's talk about the last of the midfielder, or I guess the backfielders, the back markers this time. All the Mercedes power
Mercedes.
Yep.
cars. First, Lance Stroll.
See,
I'd go B
D.
minus, mostly because he started 19th and beat all the other guys.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's okay.
shouldn't.
C plus.
Again, he had better pace than Albon, Ricardo, Norris. That's about it. But guys,
That's
Yeah.
not saying much. I was gonna say that's not really saying much.
it's not. But if the issue is the power unit, not the car, because seeing where Hulkenberg finished, maybe it's not the car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he beat those guys. Albon. C.
See,
Yeah.
he was fighting with
Yeah, C
for a bit,
plus.
and he put up a good fight. He nearly hit Carlos Sainz. I think it was one of the
Mhm.
Williams.
Yeah, I think it
Almost
was.
Carlos.
Yeah, I think it was Albon. Norris. C.
I'm gonna say
Uh,
like maybe
yeah,
C
he got-
minus.
Well, I was gonna say he also got screwed by a really bad pit stop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he could be
fair.
he could be a little bit higher, but you're like 5 seconds.
Oh, wait,
or
I
so
I
a 3
missed
second
Danny
difference.
I missed Ricardo.
He got the Sainz treatment this time.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw him
No.
once.
Yeah, no.
That's unfortunate for them.
But I
Mhm.
mean, I'm willing to give Ricardo a bit of a break because he missed testing, so everybody basically got extra practice sessions on this track
True.
because of his little run-in with COVID.
The Rona.
Yeah.
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 So he was a bit
then-
on the back foot, but you could also say that about 2 other guys out there. So
Yeah. So like for
Yeah,
Latifi,
still-
Latifi F,
Yeah.
he was- didn't
Yeah.
do much.
not comfortable, not fast, not
No.
the Latifi that finished last year, being competent beside George. You know?
Yeah.
He has
Sergio
reverted from
Perez.
competent bum. Just skipping Hulkenberg.
Oh right, Hulk. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Again,
for Hulk,
Hulk's-
I'm gonna
yeah.
give him like
Yeah, I was gonna say C for doing it on all short notice.
Yeah. His
Yeah, like-
qualifying was fine. Got into Q2.
exactly.
Beat
Mhm.
his teammate in qualifying. Jesus. Oh, that's bad.
I'm not fucking betting on IndyCar ever fucking again.
Oh, VK out.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, he had a flat.
Oh, something I fucking hate. Oh my god. It's been a terrible week for betting on racing.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, I'm not mad. Not at all.
No.
Also,
Hmm.
somehow Marcus Ericsson's winning, so good for him.
I don't know how that
Hmm.
happened.
Yeah, don't know either. Let's talk about the DNFers. Perez did fine. Maybe a,
Yeah.
He did fine. Like I would give him a B because like
B
it's just
minus.
bad luck.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't anticipate your car just failing on the last
Yeah,
lap.
your engine just
Yeah.
seizing on the first corner of the last lap. Like that's
Mhm.
he was on pace for a podium. He was going to get there. I have no doubt he was going to hold off Lewis that last lap,
Mhm.
and then just nope, went around. Then
Max.
we got Max. He was great, honestly.
Yeah.
He did have a really good drive. It was just unfortunate what happened to the car.
He needs to chill
He
the
can't
fuck
control
out.
that.
Yeah.
He does. He does.
Well, Could have said that before this race too.
No,
so.
true. Like that's the biggest I think knock against Max as a driver and as like his character is he is angry.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
all the time.
He's been like that for so long. Like I know that some people argue that, oh yeah, I think he's maturing. I don't think he really is.
No.
I'm sure, being world champion was just the best ego boost for him, but Max has always kind of had attitude issues, and it shows in the way that he talks to his team. Like there's some things that you can't control, and you have to be able to accept that.
Yes.
But I think for him, it's just really hard to give Max the benefit of the doubt because it's just kind of like typical Max behavior.
Yeah, like it was him being angry about being told to take it easy on the outlaps, which I think is great advice because you saw guys not having the grip on the outlaps. He doesn't see that.
Yeah.
So trust your fucking team.
Yep. It'll be very interesting the rest of this year if we get battles like we saw today between whether it's Max and Charles or Max and Sainz or whoever. He's going to be forced to learn to be patient because you can't be dive bombing like that every single time and burning out your tires.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like he was even lucky to be even close because I think Leclerc took off like 3 seconds up the road until the safety car came out.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So he's going to have to learn to be patient. I think if this is how it's going to be all year.
No, very true. And then Pierre Gasly, I'll give him an F for fire.
Yep. Again, bad luck, something he couldn't control.
Yeah, he was there. He was solid in the midfield. I think he was like running even fifth or not fifth, like sixth. He was up there, like best of the rest, pretty much. Maybe like a seventh then. But yeah, unlucky. Red Bull's got their shit to figure out.
Yep.
All in all, fantastic season opener.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't think
Really
we'll win any other day.
impressive. I'm excited for the rest of the season.
I have had, and this is again, it's the Drive to Survive effect, but F1 is on definitely a high right now. I've had people messaging me during this race who have never talked to me about F1 before. Like, I had at least 3 people talking about it. I mean, like, yo, that was nuts. This is insane. Yeah, it is. Like, it's one of those things.
Yeah, F1.
Like, yeah, it's the Drive to Survive effect, but also F1's always been popular, I feel. But there's always been a stigma towards a lot of fans, and not a lot of people openly talked about it. But now I feel like it's fine to talk F1 again. It's fine to be like, yo, that was a nuts race.
And more motorsports in general.
Yeah. So, speaking of Drive to Survive, while we still have some time, do you guys want to have any thoughts on that season?
I'm still not finished yet.
Wow. Okay, well,
That's
here.
a disgrace.
So, this was in the first episode. If you ever questioned who started off, which Spice Girls song is it? If you ever questioned whose laugh it was, you now know.
Oh, yes.
It was.
We all knew it was Jerry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone knew it was Ginger Spice back then.
Well, if you ever did have a question, now you knew.
Fair enough.
Now you know.
But yeah, Drive to Survive.
It was a good season.
They really set up kind of the Ferrari versus McLaren and Mercedes versus Red Bull. That was really the storylines they kind of went with. They didn't really go to a lot of the midfield teams, stuff like that. But
Yeah. They did it like it was obviously they looked at the dramatic moments like Silverstone, but they kind of like glossed over Silverstone in a way. But what I think this season really lacks in terms of like the perspective from different, like Max's absence to me is noted because so much stuff happened between him and Hamilton, and his comments kind of like they really annoy me about this whole like I'm not here for created rivalries. I'm like, dude, stop.
Well,
everybody knows that there are rivalries in F1. It's the nature of the sport.
Yeah. Well, let's
infuse
talk
drama
about that part because that's the biggest criticism coming out of Drive to Survive is the fake rivalries or the dramatization of the sport.
Well, it's gonna be It's a show. There's going to
Yeah.
be drama. What do you expect?
Yeah, it's a show and it's a sport.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's some stuff that's maybe over exaggerated, but it's not like it's really, you know,
Wrong.
yeah.
Mhm. It's not like it's wrong. And the when I finished the Silverstone episode, because it was actually funny. I watched it with my family, and like we had a huge debate.
What was
Because
the
my
debate
mom is
on?
very pro Hamilton.
What was the
Very
debate?
pro
Who's at
Hamilton.
fault?
Yeah. And we all know my opinions, but it was what I found interesting was just the way that they pieced things together. But like Hamilton says one thing in the interviews, like with Netflix, and then he says one thing after the event happened. So you're kind of like,
Yeah.
he just completely contradicts himself. Um, but
They did a lot to make Mercedes not look like victims there.
yeah,
'Cause,
which
like,
I kind of appreciated because they played the victim the entire season. But that's always what
but
they
like
tend to do in situations like that.
in the Silverstone incident, they had no problem like Netflix playing Horner's messages to Michael Massey regarding like, oh, he nearly killed our driver and like stuff like that. But like you never heard like the Toto, Michael, I've sent you an email. Can you please the diagram, like that wasn't mentioned at all.
It
Right?
should have been because I found that hilarious.
But like they
I
made
sent
it
you an
seem like
email.
it was Horner complaining and not Toto complaining. But we both
Yeah.
know watching it was both of them. So
Mhm.
yeah, they definitely made Mercedes look like the good guys and Red Bull the bad guys in this series or this season. Which again, remember what I said about Max winning last year? It gave F1 the villain.
Yeah.
And Netflix
did.
went, okay, we have a villain. We're doubling down on that. Plus, he
Yeah,
won't
and
do
I
our
think it
interviews.
exactly. It
So-
makes it worse for Max that he refuses to participate because he can't like there's no way that he can control the narrative that Netflix now will push.
Yeah.
So, but also like I guess to be fair to Netflix and his whole I just don't agree with the way that Verstappen sees things. Like he's like, "Well, they're a created rivalry." I'm like, "But they're not though because the entire season it was very like heated between him and Hamilton, especially on track."
Yeah, like you could be if here's a complaint I'm having with Try to Survive right now. And this is not actually regarding the fake rivalries, but it's regarding they don't show the off-track stuff enough. If you remember the first 2 seasons, you got a lot of like behind the scenes in the pit crew, in the motorhomes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would love to see them being hard off track, but then talking off like hard on track and then talking off track. You know? See that communication. Show that yeah, we can be hard competitors, but we can leave it on the track.
Yeah.
Again, don't make everyone look like rivals, but also make them look like they're professionals. That they understand what goes on out there is not the same that goes on basically when they're not at their job, right? So I think Drive to Survive needs to get back to that kind of storytelling. But I feel like people complained in the first 2 seasons that they didn't focus on enough on-track stuff. So
there's a happy medium in there, and it's part of it is probably they went from 3 teams in the first season to everybody.
was it
So
3?
if you want
first season was 4.
4, either way, you went
Yeah.
from less than half the grid to the entire grid.
Yeah.
You're painting a story of a couple teams versus the story of a season.
Yeah.
Right? So there are adjustments to make, and then maybe they'll take some feedback from fans and change it.
Or
Maybe
each
not.
season could be its own standalone thing. Like you can watch different things and be like, yeah, you know, I'm not a fan of how they portrayed this season. I just won't watch this. Especially if Drive to Survive is kind of here to stay, which I kind of feel like it is.
Yeah. I also like did you guys get lost in the structure a little bit?
No.
In terms of timing, or
No, like in terms of where because like they would jump back and forth between different races and I found it like in the first season they kind of went race by race.
Sort of.
They sort of did and there were moments when they went back to different to some races, but they kept it kind of somewhat chronological.
And I feel like in the first season, because Sarah was rewatching it, a big part of it was following Daniel Ricciardo's contract, which kind of was chronological throughout the year. And then it was just like, Haas's struggles, basically, as they had their issues, and that kind of hopped around, again, chronologically. You kind of had to follow that. This one, again, it depends what you're looking at, because you have to look at it as they're showing like 3 different storylines, right? They were showing the Ferrari McLaren, they were showing the Red Bull Mercedes, and they kind of were showing, I guess, everyone else.
Yeah, I think it's just I think they have to find a structure that doesn't necessarily confuse people. Because I was even getting lost in the structure and just like, okay, where are they now? Like, where are we? What are we focusing on? Because it's just, they need to pick something to make it easier to follow.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough when you're trying to hyperfix. Like I'm imagining they draw a storyboard before the season of, hey, because again, the whole thing of, oh, we're following Mercedes this weekend. Okay, everybody watch for a Mercedes crash out. Bet on it, because that's happened. If they're going to follow a storyboard and be with a certain team on each weekend, you're going to have that jumping backwards, because if that's just how the timing works out, that's how it's going to have to work out.
I also wonder if they work with a lot of teams this year, with the COVID and everything, and like it's difficult to travel to certain places. So,
that's maybe why you didn't get a behind the scenes look, right?
Yeah, you're not getting the same kind of look that you're getting. You're getting a lot of on track. So,
Netflix, I doubt Netflix is as likely to show up to a Signs family gathering during COVID, whereas the first season they did.
Yeah.
So again, you have to look at it basically as when it's being filmed. Don't just look at it as the on-track action or what it's portraying. You have to also kind of take into consideration what they're trying to do too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, I thought it was a good season.
Yep.
If someone could finish it, maybe we could do an episode doing an entire review of it.
I will.
Here, you have a 7-hour flight tomorrow. Do it then.
Download and watch.
Yes.
All right. I just finished The Last Kingdom, so.
I have not started that.
Well, you have a lot of catching up to do because you didn't watch
I'm
whole last
I'm a season
season
behind, yeah.
He's got lots of shit to watch.
Whoopsie.
So much happened.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Hasn't watched Mandalorian, hasn't watched Boba Fett, hasn't watched anything. Can't discuss anything.
I don't watch shit, okay? I'm terrible at watching TV shows.
I don't get that. Like, dude, come on.
I do other shit. Like this. Like watching racing. Like doing other things. My weekends are mostly watching motorsports. I don't watch shit during the week. Usually other things. I just don't watch shit, okay? Get off my case.
You're just missing out.
Maybe. Anyway, we have a flight tomorrow. We're going to Scotland, so we will.
Yeah. It's not just Taylor on a 7-hour flight.
We're all going to Scotland, not for racing stuff. But maybe in the future that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, we're just doing a nice vacation, visiting.
Maybe not Scotland for racing, but sure.
But yeah, going to visit a friend over there. So next week's episode will be delayed a couple days until we get back.
We're probably just skipping next week.
Yeah, maybe, unless we did it during the week.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll skip next week.
Honestly, I think
fine. We'll
for
be
ourselves.
out next week. Cowards. But fine. So then we'll be back in 2 weeks to discuss Saudi Arabia.
Yep. We'll have to catch up on a lot of NASCAR.
Probably the end of this IndyCar race, which, fuck you, Steven, is all I'm going to say. And yeah. And some NASCAR. So yeah, we will be back next week. That's basically it. And yeah, goodbye.
2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks, yes. Okay,
2 weeks.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Spare Parts. Remember to follow the show on Twitter at sparepartspod and the hosts at Stephen Clary, at Sean Cavarella, and at Tate Moore.